To take things easy. We want to prepare thoroughly, and these games came handy. They came at a time where we wanted them the most. And yes, I think we had a good tournament. A few things that we wanted to see, we can confirm now that we have seen them. Few players that we wanted to see, we are happy with that.
Interestingly, Malawi was using its regular under-20 side, meaning their players were older than Amajita, who finished the tournament unbeaten. Having played against Zambia, Botswana, Eswatini and Angola before the final, Khumalo feels that Malawi didn't push them enough.
To our opponents, Malawi, they gave us a good run, and maybe to my fellow brothers there, it will be like learn. And I watched their game when they were playing against Zambia. They came all out to Zambia, but they gave us a little bit of respect. I don't know why, and we were expecting that they can come and give us a little bit of a push so that we see.
And in tennis news, number one, Jannik Sinner won his first Wimbledon title by wearing down Carlos Alcaraz in another high-quality Grand Slam final between the dominant forces of the men's game. Italy's Sinner claimed a 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 victory at the All-England Club, avenging his brutal French Open defeat by Spanish world number 2 Alcaraz just 35 days ago. And this victory in a hard court was composed and a clinical performance from the top seed ended Alcaraz's 24-match winning streak.
Yeah, it's so special because seeing, my parents here, my brother, my whole team, it's amazing because I had a very tough loss in Paris, so but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you win or you lose. The especially important tournaments, you just have to understand what you did wrong, trying to work on that. That's exactly what we did. We tried to accept the loss and just kept working. And
let's end with golf news. Rory McIlroy was delighted with his form at the Scottish Open after finishing runner-up to American Chris Gotterup on Sunday, and the North Irishman said his game is in a good place heading into the British Open at Royal Portrush this week. McIlroy was looking to become the first player to win the Masters and the Scottish Open in the same season, but finished 2 shots behind world number 158th Gotterup at the Renaissance Club, tied with Marco Penge for second place. The 36-year-old has struggled to find his best form after completing the career Grand Slam at the Masters in April, and said in June he had not known how hard it would be to stay motivated. For any other sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. This Mandela Month, Channel Africa invites you to walk in the footsteps of a giant. From the prison yard of Robben Island to the halls of the United Nations, Nelson Mandela's legacy reminds us that service, compassion, and justice are the building blocks of real freedom.
En cette journée Mandela, que nos actions fassent écho à son héritage.
Alionyesha dunia ya kwamba sauti moja yaweza kuhamasisha mataifa.
Mandela ensinou-nos que a liberdade não é dada, mas sim conquistada através da coragem e sacrifício.
Join us as we reflect, remember, and reignite the spirit of Madiba across the continent. This is more than a day. It's a call to action. Channel Africa, the African Perspective. Africa Update on Channel Africa.
Well, thank you to Figile Lingwati with our sports update, and we say good afternoon to Chanduko Legege with our business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Lulu. Good afternoon. South Africa's 2 houses of parliament will continue to debate several budget votes this week. Budget votes are part of Parliament's processes and give the public insight into departments' performance and spending priorities for the financial year. The Presidency, the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces will debate their budgets. Parliamentary spokesperson Moloto Muthapo.
The Speaker of the National Assembly and the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces will each present Parliament budget vote in their respective houses. This vote details funding allocations that support Parliament's core functions. The budget vote gives the public insight into how Parliament prioritizes its work and allocates resources in alignment with its constitutional functions. That includes oversight over government, the legislative processes, public participation, and international cooperation.
A new Oxfam report has shed light on the alarming levels of wealth inequality in Africa. According to the findings, just 4 of the continent's richest billionaires now hold more wealth than half of Africa's population. That's around 750 million people. The report, titled Africa's Inequality Crisis and the Rise of the Super Rich, was released last week. Accountable Government led for Oxfam in Africa, Kwesi Obenji, says this inequality is prevalent across the continent.
Africa's tax systems is 3 times less effective at redistributing wealth or income. What that means is that you have many more of the poor having to shoulder the burden. And just to simply put, what it means is that the poorest in Africa are actually funding public services. Now, that cannot happen, that should not be happening, because what it is that we've seen the wealth of a very tiny population, less than 15,000, having seen their wealth so expand.
Over 250 delegates are expected to attend the second technical meeting for the G20 Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group, set to begin at the Kruger National Park in South Africa's Mpumalanga province today. The gathering, hosted by the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, will run until Friday. The meeting aims to build on the progress made during the first virtual gathering that took place in March. Forestry, Fisheries and Environment Minister Dr. Dion George says the goal is to ensure the country upholds its commitments to themes of solidarity, equality and sustainability.
This meeting will focus on technical aspects specifically related to climate finance, biodiversity conservation, pollution management and ocean governance. South Africa is a very sensible member of the international community and will ensure that it plays its part in mitigating and adapting to climate change and also fighting the scourge of international illicit wildlife trafficking, while focusing also very specifically on cleaning up our oceans and ensuring that our environment is cleaner and greener for generations to come.
Meanwhile, the G20's Financial Stability Board has delivered a new plan on how to tackle climate risks today, but paused further policy work amid a retreat by the U.S. that has tested efforts to advance a united financial policy on climate-related risks. The U.S. has withdrawn from multiple groups dedicated to exploring how flooding and wildfires and big climate-related policy shifts could impact financial stability. The media reported last week that U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was set to skip the G20 meeting. This as the U.S. is due to head the G20 group next year. British luxury brand Burberry's investors are pleased to see early signs of recovery a year after George Schoolman became Burberry's CEO, with a mandate to turn the company around. This is despite the fact that sales are still falling. Burberry, known for its trademark trench coats and check pattern scarves, is in the early stages of a reboot as Schoolman tries to reverse the group's years of underperformance and return sales and profit to growth. Analysts expected the group to report on Friday that a comparable retail sales fell 3% in April to June quarter from a year earlier. This would mark an improvement from a 6% fall in the January to March period. Let's have a look at financial indicators at this hour. One US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 527, Botswana 13 pula 20. Kenya the dollar is at 128 shilling 72. Zambia 23 kwacha 14. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 55. Russia 77 rubles 94. India 85 rupee 82. China 71 16. South Africa 17 rand 93 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Commodities, gold is at $3,364, platinum at $1,384 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil $70.90 a barrel. That is all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
It is 12:42 Central African Time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Thank you to Chanduko Ligege with our business news. And continue with us on our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube at Channel Africa 1. On Facebook at Channel Africa. You can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763 as 406 9126 #Africa Update, and let us know which country you're in. And if you have any stories that you'd like us to highlight or to focus on, send us an email at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or give us a call on +27 11 714 4459.
Africa Update on Channel Africa.
One of the opposition leaders in Cameroon, Celestine Bezingui, has labelled as crazy in